Ever had a woman you like completely ignore you? You shoot her a message, wait with bated breath, and yet nada, zilch, radio, silence. Meanwhile, she's alive and well on social media, posting updates that make you wonder if your text got sucked into a cosmic black hole. It stings, doesn't it? But here's the twist. Her ignoring you often has more to do with her need to test your response than it does with your actual worth. In this video, I'll show you how to turn that silence into your advantage. Not through games or gimmicks, but by strengthening the core of who you are. Women test men to see if they'll crack under pressure or remain steady as a rock. We'll dig into why this happens, and more importantly, how you can walk away cooler and more confident than ever before. By the way, I'm curious. Have you ever felt that sinking feeling of being flat out ignored? If yes, do me a favor and drop a #1 in the comments, so I know I'm not the only soul who's navigated that awkward limbo. Now, let's dive in and shift the narrative from powerless to powerful. Why she's ignoring you and why it doesn't matter. The dreaded silent treatment, like a magician's trick that leaves you second-guessing your every move. She's online, posting pictures and witty statuses, yet your messages gather dust in her inbox. The natural question: what did I do wrong? Let me save you some time, my friend. More often than not, it's not about you at all. Modern dating is rife with mind games, hidden agendas, and subtle battles for control. Maybe she wants to see just how eager you'll be if she stays silent. Maybe she's genuinely swamped with life. Or maybe her interest in you was never as deep as you hoped. But here's the kicker: none of that truly matters. What does matter is how you respond. If you sit by your phone, refreshing every 5 minutes, waiting for her to grace you with a reply, you hand her all the power. You turn your own life into a waiting room for her convenience. Stoicism, on the other hand, offers a different path. It says you can't control her actions, her ghosting, her delayed responses, her whimsical moods. But you can always, without fail, control your reaction. So when she goes silent, do nothing. Not out of spite, mind you, but out of self-respect. Resist the urge to send a barrage of follow-up texts or type out a seething monologue demanding to know why she's ignoring you. Doing so only confirms that she's living rent-free in your head. Instead, go about your day, hit the gym, focus on your goals, or pick up that dusty guitar. You reclaim your power by living your life, not waiting for someone else's approval. And here's the funny thing: when you don't chase, you become a mystery. You stand apart from the flood of men who scramble for her attention. If she reappears, fine. If not, you've already moved forward on your path. Either way, you win. In the next section, we'll dig into 4 practical ways to keep your composure, project self-assurance, and, yes, destroy her ego when she tries to push your buttons. Ready to learn the art of unshakable confidence? Stay tuned, my friend, because the real lessons are just around the corner. Number 1. Shift the focus back to you. Ah yes, the glorious first step in taming that gnawing emptiness when she goes silent. Turning your gaze away from her and squarely onto yourself. Let me tell you, there's a strange magic that happens when you quit fretting over her lack of response and start pouring your energy into your own endeavors. It's as though the universe tips its hat and says, "Welcome back, dear fellow, to the land of genuine self-confidence." Picture this: you're pacing your living room, phone in hand, waiting for that notification ping. The more you stare, the more your sanity frays like an old rope. But what if, instead, you slung on your gym shoes and headed out for a brisk workout, channeling that restless energy into sculpting a stronger you? Or maybe you locked in on that passion project you've been toying with, turning the seed of an idea into something tangible and real. Suddenly, you're so focused on your own progress, her silence becomes a mere whisper in the background of your mind. Truth be told, women can smell desperation from a mile away, like a bloodhound sniffing out fear. What they find enticing is a man engrossed in his own mission. A man whose eyes light up talking about his side hustle, or who savors the adrenaline of perfecting a new skill. That is the sweet aroma of genuine drive and purpose. And here's the kicker. The more you invest in becoming the best version of yourself, the less rattled you'll be by any single person's inattention. Think back to a time when you were consumed by a passion. Maybe you were hitting the gym daily and seeing real changes in the mirror, or devoting hours to a startup idea that kept you fueled on ambition alone. During those moments, it's doubtful you'd have time to agonize over someone not texting back. You were too busy forging ahead, too busy chasing your own goals to worry about who was or wasn't giving you the time of day. That, my friend, is the energy you need to harness here. Let her wonder why you're not clamoring for her reply. Let her speculate what shifted in you. And while she's busy guessing, you're making strides toward a life richer in purpose and fulfillment. By the way, I'm curious. Have you ever thrown yourself into a personal passion and found that you stopped caring who was texting back? Drop a quick number 2 in the comments if you've been there. Sometimes our own stories inspire each other more than we realize. Number 2. Use reverse psychology. Now, let us speak of reverse psychology. A notorious rascal in the dating world, often misused by those too eager to play mind games. But wielded correctly, it can be as potent as a well-aimed arrow. When she ignores you, don't panic or pile on the messages. Instead, meet her silence with your own calm detachment. The trick, however, is to remain as cool as a spring breeze, not bitter or resentful. It's not about toying with her emotions. It's about demonstrating your own inner resolve. Picture this scenario. She's left your messages floating in the void, and you're tempted to send her a heartfelt text demanding an explanation. Resist. The moment you stop seeking her nod of approval, the moment she sees her silence can't rattle you, she'll pause to wonder, why isn't he chasing after me? Is he off on grand adventures without me? That sliver of doubt is the flicker of reverse psychology at work. By refusing to beg for her attention, you tip the scales of power, not through manipulation, but by showing you aren't governed by your emotions or her whims. Let her see you thriving. Post that photo of you laughing with friends, hitting the gym, or exploring a new hobby. But do not reach out to her. No double texting, no frantic demands to know why she vanished. Just go about your day as if her silence were a passing cloud, hardly worth a second thought. In time, she may return, curious perhaps, even unsettled by your poise. When she does, answer casually, as though her absence was hardly noticed. Don't question her reasons for ignoring you. Don't drag up the past. Instead, maintain your composure like a seasoned poker player who holds his winning cards close to his chest. And that, my friend, is the power of reverse psychology. You're not tricking her. You're simply showing that no amount of radio silence can shake your self-assurance. Number 3. Stay calm and unbothered. Ah, my friend, let me spin you a familiar tale. The woman who goes silent, leaving you with nothing but a restless mind and a phone far too quiet for your liking. The natural reaction is to spiral, worry, frustration, maybe even a simmering anger. But let me assure you, the moment you let her silence shake your composure, you hand over all the power on a silver platter. A far wiser course is the stoic one. Remain calm, remain anchored, and refuse to let her ignoring you rattle your cage. This isn't about pretending you couldn't care less, but about genuinely refusing to let someone else's choices twist your emotions into knots. If she wants to vanish, so be it. You've got a life to live, and your emotional state doesn't hinge on her whims. When you achieve this inner stillness, you'll find that calm confidence is more alluring than any witty text or flashy grand gesture. People, and women especially, are drawn to someone who doesn't break a sweat when faced with the little storms of life. You send a clear signal. I'm unshaken by the gusts and gales around me because I stand on solid ground. Now, how does one maintain this unbothered grace? Simple. Choose to invest your energy in pursuits that nurture your sense of calm. If you feel tension building up, go for a jog, watch a sunset, or channel that restlessness into a creative project. The point is to redirect your focus from her silence to your own growth and well-being. Remember, her lack of response doesn't define your worth. You're in the driver's seat of your own emotional car. She can't steer you off the road unless you hand her the wheel. By staying composed, you demonstrate self-respect. And that's an intoxicating quality. When she realizes her absence didn't unravel you, she may start to wonder why her spell didn't work. And that's when the balance of power shifts. Now, I'm curious, dear viewers, have you ever been in a situation where remaining calm turned everything around? Or do you believe in a more direct approach when the silent treatment rears its head? Let me know in the comments which strategy resonates with you. Drop a quick #calm if you've tried this stoic route. Or #direct if you prefer to confront the silence head-on. Your stories might inspire someone else who's caught in a similar storm. Number 4. Detach from the outcome. Now, my friend, let me serve you one of life's greatest secrets on a silver platter. True power lies in detaching from the outcome. Picture this. You're waiting on her reply. Your phone practically welded to your hand. Each moment of silence feels like an insult to your entire existence. If that sounds about right, then it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. Detachment isn't about pretending she doesn't matter. No, sir, it's about realizing that you matter more. When a woman ignores you, your first instinct might be to spiral, overthinking what went wrong, wondering if your witty text was, in fact, a tragic misfire. But stoic detachment says, whether she responds or not, I'm going to be just fine. It's a radical concept for many fellas, yet the moment you let go of that desperate need for her attention, you reclaim the steering wheel of your emotional life. Think about how much time we spend waiting for someone else's validation. Like a dog at the dinner table, hoping for scraps. It's no way to live. When you detach, you stop fretting about her next move and focus on your own. Her silence becomes a passing cloud, rather than a hurricane threatening to upend your sanity. And let me tell you, there's nothing more captivating than a man who remains calm in a storm that rattles everyone else. Detachment doesn't mean you're cold-hearted. It doesn't mean you fail to appreciate her company. It simply means you refuse to let her actions dictate your emotional weather. Rain or shine, your sense of worth stands firm, rooted in who you are, not in how she chooses to respond or not respond. Freedom is the prize here. Freedom from the shaky ground of constant seeking, from the hunger for external thumbs up. Take a moment to recall a time you were overly attached to an outcome, be it a job interview, a date, or waiting for that all-important phone call. The more you obsessed, the more anxious you became, unraveling like a loose thread. Now imagine brushing away that anxiety like dust off your shoulder. Imagine being perfectly content whether the news is good, bad, or non-existent. Suddenly, your mind is clear, your stress is gone, and your days are yours to savor. When you adopt this mindset, guess what happens? You stand out like a beacon in a world of frantic overthinkers. Men who detach radiate confidence. And confidence is a magnet. Women sense it, people respect it, and you feel it coursing through your veins. So, when she ignores you next time, let her. Don't chase, don't crumble, and don't toss your self-esteem to the wolves. Detach from the outcome, focus on your own growth, and watch how your peace of mind remains unshaken. This isn't just about dealing with a silent foe. It's about mastering your life, anchoring your happiness in your own hands, and recognizing that real power isn't in forcing a response. It's in thriving regardless of one. Ah, my friend, we've come full circle in our journey through the silent storms of ignored messages and ghosted chats. If there's one truth to take away, it's that your worth is not measured by a notification ping or a fleeting text. You've learned to keep your composure, to harness the power of reverse psychology, and most crucially, to detach from outcomes you can't control. These are the cornerstones of stoic resilience, the mark of a man who isn't swayed by someone else's whims. When she goes quiet, you now have the roadmap. Focus on your growth, remain calm and unbothered, and refrain from scrambling for validation. Let her wonder why you haven't collapsed under the weight of her silence. Paradoxically, that calm detachment is what sets you apart and captures the curiosity of everyone around you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever faced a situation where detaching made all the difference? Share your story, or even just a quick "I'm in" down in the comments. And if this video provided a spark of insight, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that little bell to stay on top of future content. Your support keeps this conversation alive, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Stay composed, stay confident, and remember, your peace isn't up for negotiation.